Envision a sweltering summer in Washington, D.C., where shantytowns sprawl along the Anacostia River and the air hums with the desperation of forgotten heroes. It's 1932, and thousands of World War veterans descend on the Capitol, demanding justice in a nation crippled by the Great Depression. This is the Bonus Army March, 93 years ago. A clash of hope and hardship that saw veterans face bayonets in their fight for survival, a saga that shook America's conscience. The Great Depression, begun with the 1929 stock market crash, leaves 15 million jobless, 25% of America's workforce, per Bureau of Labor Statistics. World War veterans, who fought in 1917 and 1918, suffer most. In 1924, Congress promised them a bonus for service, payable in 1945, worth $1,000 each per the Adjusted Compensation Act. By 1932, with banks failing and breadlines stretching, veterans can't wait. Walter Waters, a 34-year-old unemployed cannery worker from Portland, Oregon, rallies 200 veterans in May, per his 1933 memoir. They board freight trains, vowing to demand early payment in Washington. By June 1st, 20,000 veterans dubbed the Bonus Army flood the Capitol. Men like Joseph Angelo, 38, a former sergeant, arrive with wives and children, penniless but proud, per Washington Post, June 2nd. They build camps. Anacostia Flats, the largest, holds 15,000 in shacks of tin and cardboard. Others squat in abandoned buildings along Pennsylvania Avenue, 3 miles from the Capitol. Most are white, but 1,000 are black, integrated despite the era's segregation, per historian Paul Dixon's 1971 study. They drill, sing war songs, and wave flags, disciplined yet desperate, demanding their bonuses now. President Herbert Hoover, 67, and Congress balk. The House passes a bonus bill on June 15, backed by Representative Wright Patton, 40, but the Senate rejects it 2 days later, per congressional record. On June 17th, 10,000 veterans marched to the Capitol chanting, "The Yanks are starving," per New York Times. Waters pleads for calm. No violence erupts, but hope fades. Hoover, fearing unrest, calls them communists, though only 50 are party members, per FBI reports. The veterans, averaging 40 years old, include heroes like Angelo, who saved General Douglas MacArthur's life in 1918, per MacArthur's 1964 memoirs. Tensions boil by July 28th. Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon, 77, orders camps cleared for construction, per July 29th Post. Police clash with veterans at Pennsylvania Avenue, killing 2 William Hushka, 40, and Eric Carlson, 38, shot resisting eviction, per coroner's inquest. Hoover summons the Army, led by MacArthur, 52, with Major Dwight Eisenhower, 42, and Major George Patton, 46. At 4:30 in the afternoon, 500 infantry, 200 cavalry, and 6 tanks roll down Pennsylvania Avenue. Troops, bayonets fixed, tear gas the crowd, 10,000 veterans, plus families, per Army logs. Patton's tanks crush shacks. Fires rage at Anacostia Flats by nightfall, Pure Time magazine, August 1st. The eviction is brutal. 120 veterans are injured, including Joseph Angelo, gassed while clutching his service medal, per his 1932 affidavit. A 12-week-old baby, Bernard Myers, dies from tear gas, per coroner's report. MacArthur, defying Hoover's order to stop at the river, razes Anacostia, claiming Bolshevik threats, per his 1932 dispatch. 20,000 are driven out, some fleeing to Maryland, others to nowhere, per Post accounts. The Nation gasps Newsweek, August 8th, calls it America's shame. The aftermath shifts history. Hoover's reputation crumbles. Franklin Roosevelt, 50, wins the 1932 election, partly on bonus Army sympathy, per historian Arthur Schlesinger's 1957 analysis. In 1936, Congress overrides Roosevelt's veto, paying bonuses early $4 billion to 3 million veterans, per Treasury records. Anacostia's ashes, excavated in 1979, yield buttons and tin, relics of the camp, per Smithsonian Archives. The Bonus Army's defeat sparks New Deal reforms, easing the Depression's bite, per 1940 studies. 93 years ago, 1932's Bonus Army March was a cry for justice. 20,000 veterans, 10,000 dreams crushed by gas and steel. From Anacostia shacks to Pennsylvania Avenue's charge, it's a tale of broken promises and unbroken spirit, etched in newsprint, tears, and America's awakening conscience.